They are employees of the international holding company, but they are connected not only with work. They are citizens of different countries, but this makes their friendship more interesting. I have prepared for us very interesting program. If he prepares a very interesting program, mine will be more extreme. They are the seekers of new impressions, but their views on dress do not coincide, and they travel together to their companions' hometowns. All three have their own leisure plan in each country. Three friends, three countries, 3 different days. In today's program, Secrets of the Underground Mosque Beket-Ata, where the arrow of Beket-Ata fell, a mosque built by one man. Yes, it is an amazing view. The residents can be proud with a rich history. What monuments, sightseeing places in the west do you know? I know Beket-Ata. Great, Beket-Ata. What about you? To tell the truth, I don't know anything about the west of Kazakhstan. So it is very interesting for me to discover this area. So let's go then. I will show and tell everything about this place. Let's go. If our company had more time for the trip, then we couldn't stop Yerkebulan, because Western Kazakhstan is a treat to history lovers. In this region are 2/3 of the historical monuments of the country. It is believed that the history of the region is far from being studied, and scientists in this region expect many discoveries. Well, what we know can be put in one paragraph. It is known that the Great Silk Road ran along Mangistau. There were huge caravans from Khwarezm, Hazaria and Persia, and here there were big settlements in which the commercial and craft had been prospering. Unfortunately, the Mongol invasion erased all this from the surface of the earth, and for many centuries Mangistau fell out the whole Eurasian habitable globe. As Yerkebulan decided, in this journey, we will not dive into the depths of Mangistau history. Our cognitive voyage will pass through the main shrines of Western Kazakhstan, without which the chronicle of the region would be incomplete.
「
One of the most outstanding historical and spiritual monuments of Western Kazakhstan is undoubtedly the underground mosque of Beket-Ata. Beket-Ata Mirza Joly is considered one of the most revered saints in Western Kazakhstan. He lived in the second half of the 18th century near the village of Kulsari in the Ataro region. According to the legend, at the age of 14, Beket-Ata came to bow to the ashes of the great sage Chopan-Ata, receive his blessing and the covenant to learn. At the age of 40, he became a Sufi, taught children to read and write, healed people, instructed believers to be fair and do good deed. Beket-Ata is known as a warrior who performed feats in the battles with the Kalmyks. Choosing the path of a hermit, Beket-Ata began to live in a deserted place, deserted by people and built 4 mosques. One of them underground. He cut down in the chalky rock massif Oglandi. This place is always crowded by pilgrims. They all come from Central Asia, Russia. How much human labor is laid? Here? Yes, this is amazing. Getting to the Beket-Ata Mosque does not mean that you have already reached the destination. After all, it is located in a remote mountainous area and the road takes almost 2 kilometers along the winding stairs. The difference in altitude here is almost 150 meters. The extraordinary acoustics of the underground mosque is amazing. In all rooms of surprising audibility, prayers can be heard. Curiously, even all the doors and vents are open. There is no draft.
Осы жерде алақан отыр ағаларымыздың тілектерін, ниеттерін, берген садақаларын, келген зираттарын бір Алла өзі қабыл қылсын.
By the way, there is a hypothesis that the Beket-Ata Mosque was a similitude of the observatory in which the saint watched the motion of celestial bodies. This allowed him to accurately predict the harsh winter, hot heat, showers, determine the time of migrations to Jailao. After leaving the underground mosque, you must drink water from this well. It is considered sacred. a sacred mulberry tree grows at the entrance to the mosque. The most surprising thing is that it is the only one, because there are no trees in the district at all. The visitors walk around him and make wishes. The stairs seem to be newer. Everything is set that is very convenient for visitors. Some believe that people unnecessarily paved their way to the mosque and built vacation houses along the road. In their opinion, it is possible to receive the bata or blessing of Beket-Ata only having made a hard way to the mosque, on foot by difficult ways under the hot sun. Maybe it is true. But as far as we know, Beket-Ata accepts everyone. The main thing for a person to come with an open heart. Here guys, there are a lot of places with rich history, but I chose some of them, and I'm sure that these places will be remained in your memory forever. After what we've been through, we won't forget it for sure. Never. Did you really like it? I am very glad. It was very interesting. The next point of our road was the necropolis Beket-Ata. This unique complex of the 9th, the beginning of the 10th century, also has historical value. It is located on the old caravan road from Mangushlag to Horizm. Necropolis Beket-Ata stretched on both sides of a shallow, narrow ravine. The entrance is on the east side. In the southwestern part there are the underground mosque and the tomb of Beket-Ata, as well as the oldest tombstones. Perhaps they were built by the Oghuz Kipchak tribes during the 10th, 14th centuries. The cult center of the necropolis is a mosque, cut down in an array of overlapping rocks. Its appearance is also connected with a legend. It is said that one day Ahmed Yassawi asked his students, including Beket-Ata, to fire arrows through the Shanurok. Where an arrow fell, there they had to preach his ideas. Beket-Ata found his arrow near the village of the rich cattleman Bayan and became his shepherd. However, Bai immediately realized that he was not an ordinary person and married him to his daughter. Later, Beket-Ata built an underground mosque at the top of the mountain on which his arrow fell. Inside the mosque, there are no decorations, only roughly walled walls. Probably, such a harsh environment corresponded to the ascetic spirit of the mystic hermits. The premises of the mosque are illuminated through a round light hatch with a diameter of just over 1 meter. Through this hatch, outward comes a long wooden pole hung with strips of cloth and horns of argali. The place where the pole stands is considered sacred. The well of Beket-Ata is also related to the beliefs. Lower the bucket to the bottom of the well and take water. If there is water, then your soul is pure and you do not have any sins. Well, let's take a risk.
В общем, здесь написано то, что нужно потихоньку спустить ведро в колодец и потихоньку его оттуда вытянуть вверх, да?
Here it is written to release the bucket into the well and pull it up. Let me help you. Everything must be done carefully.
Глубокий колодец. Да? Сильно не надо. Подожди, слетел. Она не закапелена. Так, стоп. Стоп. Теперь тенябра. Плавно теперь подними. Она, в общем, вот здесь вот должна собраться. Давай тяни.
It is a deep well. Don't pull it so hard.
Да, да?
Да, и она поднимается прямо к нам.
Белек, ты можешь кружки. О! Еще. Все, теперь чуть расслабь, чтобы сюда можно поставить.
Stop now. Pull back. This is holy water. It is necessary to drink.
Все, показывай. Нужно, говорит, бисмилляхи рахмани рахим и...
А я допью, можно?
And now we are going to Tupkaragan Peninsula. It is 20 kilometers from the city of Fort Shevchenko, and again we will go underground. Our goal is the Beket-Ata underground mosque. The history of Beket-Ata, or Shah Mardan, as they call this saint, is full of amazing legends. In a literal translation, the word Beket-Ata means Old Man Firestone. According to one ancient legend, Beket-Ata is not the name of the founder of the mosque, but the nickname given to him in battles with the enemies. From his weapon, as from silicon, sparks flew in battles. Some scholars claim that in mythology, Beket-Ata is the ruler of snakes and the patron of the dead, and as a historical figure, he was the grandson of Ata. According to one of the legends, he was given the name Shakpak, in translation, flint. for the fact that they could spew fire out of the stone and with fire to incinerate the enemy. There are many similar stories about this man, but the most unrealistic is that he built this mosque himself with his own hands. The mosque is also cut down in the mountain chalk cliff. According to the archaeologists, it was built in 9th and 10th centuries. This stone was cut down by the sweat of the human face. In order to create such a unique cave structure in a rocky rock, one must possess not only the strength of the hands, but also the power of the spirit. The mosque is strictly oriented around the world, consists of 4 chambers. The domed vault resembles a yurt, and in its center a round window is cut down. Inside is very spacious. At the same time, in the architectural design of the space, elements of the order system are evident. At the corners, where the walls are joined, powerful columns are cut down. Between them, the arcs. The ceiling of the central halls has a dome shape. In the center of the dome is a light hole. Some scholars claim that the main purpose of the sanctuary is healing. It is known that the Sufis practice healing magic here, and it is possible that the caretakers of this place was some monastic order which was engaged in healing. The web of time hides many facts from the history of the mosque and Beket-Ata itself. We will never know who helped the preacher to create this unique structure, what was in his soul, in his thoughts, when at last the construction was over. But nothing can erase the memory of Beket-Ata. That's why for so many centuries pilgrims have been coming here, and the flow does not stop. Our underground ventures are not over yet. We're heading southeast of Fort Shevchenko. We need to get into the canyon of Sultan-Tepe. It is located in the mountain range of Kaush, 4 kilometers from the Gulf of Mangishlak. The ridge is built of the shell rock. There are a lot of abandoned fishermen's stone houses. Rising higher, you can see the sea. Not far from here, you can see several sites of the Stone Age. Very interesting construction in terms of almost round with the dark stones, the upper edges of which collapsed with time. Most likely, this monument is associated with astronomy or astrology. In general, the place is very attractive. Here you immediately feel a positive aura. On the west side of the canyon are the necropolis and underground mosque of Sultan-Tepe. It is carved into a rock and consists of 9 rooms. At the entrance to the mosque, there are numerous stepwise approaches, and the stone pillars support the floors. By the way, here too, something elusive resembles the abode of a certain community.
Это подземная мечеть.
This is an underground mosque. What a lag that such ruins have reached us. A sacred place.
Прожили вот эти вот руины, так сказать, да? Слава Богу.
As for the founder of this complex, we heard a few legends. Most of all, I like the story of love. It turns out that the Sultan Epe lost his beloved girl, whom he wanted to marry. The young man was late for the celebration and the parents of the bride were so angry. And although it later turned out that he was late, saving the fisherman in the sea, the engagement was hopelessly broken. Since then, Sultan Epe is considered the patron sailors and fishermen. Another day of our journey is coming to an end. For us it was really unusual because we have never touched the spiritual side of life. And today, touching the history of Western Kazakhstan from this side, it became clear. We missed something very important. In short, Yerkebulan also managed to touch the thinnest strings of the soul, and he managed to make this day truly unforgettable. Well, what awaits us tomorrow? It would be nice to do a general reboot. Our friend Karim will cope with his task too.